Now, you might have the tendency to think you're a noob in Fortnite if you're not doing so hot or you're on a bad streak, like me, except the streak doesn't really end. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not very good at the game. I'm a noob, I'm bad. I get it, but you have not dealt with the likes of the noobs you are about to see in this video, my friends. But as we get ready to unveil the top 10 ultimate Fortnite noobs, we ask that if you plan on copping any of that heat in the item shop, that you use code T5G to support us. Thanks, and let's get into the video. Number 1, the pilot. Starting off this noob extravaganza, we've got Dakotas, the one whose snipes shall not be named, for fear that you'll become his next target. However, when you add noobs to the equation, on the odd occasion you don't have to do anything at all. Sometimes you can just sit back and enjoy the show.
Holy moly, brother. Holy moly. What?
It doesn't take a genius to figure out that this blondie didn't have a real grasp on the controls at all. Face planting into Dusty without using the boost mechanic and then panicking to the point that you stink bomb yourself. Now that's a brutal way to go, but I've got to be honest and say it's hilarious for us. So for that, we thank you, but I hope you learn to figure out those controls one day. Number 2, ping pong effect. I don't know what they're drinking in Sweden, but I definitely want some of it. Their YouTube game is on point. Just look at PewDiePie. Congratulations, by the way. You've also got Leah smashing it over on Twitch under the stream name Loya, who brings us to our next clip, the time in which bounce pads were still the rage and everyone wanted to use them in all sorts of unique final elimination clips.
No. No, Margaret, no! Bye, Margaret! Bye, Margaret!
It may not be the biggest setup on our list, but it's way too satisfying to see them bounce around your one by one like a ping pong ball. For a noob, who Leah calls Margaret, this is the equivalent of a jigsaw trap. Leah traps Margaret in, and she's got a deadly time limit in which to figure out how to get out before game over. Well, this is Fortnite, so I guess it'd be back to the lobby thing. Number 3, the tomatoes. Now, some of you may have seen it before, but that's what makes clips like these a classic. A clip that can give a lot of you OG players that sense of nostalgia from some of the similar and enjoyable moments you yourself had. In this case, it was the introduction of the throwable tomatoes and a whole bunch of amazing streamers, including Dakotas, Face Yellow, High Distortion, and Scissors, who definitely weren't trolling the last guy. Nope, not at all.
Let's all throw tomatoes at him. Let's all throw tomatoes at him.
I'm dumb.
He's running from
Oh, we're bullies. We're bullies. We're bullies. Boo. You suck. You suck.
Boo. Go home.
It's almost a heartwarming moment between the whole gang until they realize they're 100% messing with this new player. All I can ever see in moments like these is the "why you bully me" meme running in the background as he's poorly attempting to build his way out. Sometimes you try to make excuses for someone not being that great at the game, but this default couldn't even run. I'm just surprised he got that far. But at number 4, we've got the Trap Tower Noob. So earlier I mentioned some of the bigger bounce pad setups people like to make in order to take down those final opponents. This is by far one of the more unique methods out there, and if you manage to fool someone with this, there isn't any excuse they can make for such a rookie mistake.
Yo, chill. Come on in, little Kit Kat. Oh, yo, come on up, dog. Yes.
Tifu's reaction on this was actually nuts. You can see real ecstatic joy coming from pulling this off, and you don't see that reaction often. It may be fun to get those 20 kill bombs, but every now and then, it can be just as much fun to slow down and make one kill stand out just as much. Like, what's the craziest setup you've ever created to mess with someone? I've done this bounce pad tower a few times, and it doesn't get any less satisfying when it all works out according to plan. But in at number 5, we've got the Runaway Glider. So the rifts are one of my favorite additions to the game. Being able to travel, escape, and attack in an instant is extremely useful. Yeah, sure, they may disappear once you use it, but if you're battling someone that knows at least a little about what they're doing, you can often end up in a never-ending rift chase until someone finally makes the first move.
Dude, this. I'm gonna. My light. Sorry, dude. Stop. There's. What the f happening? Stop. No. No! Are you f***ing kidding me? Oh my god!
Not exactly the way you imagine that going, right? I mean, this player already knew they had no chance against Nick Mercs, and instead of even attempting to fight, gave a little wave and sent himself back to the lobby. Maybe he was respecting the skill level, maybe he just didn't want Nick Mercs to get the elimination, but either way, Nick Mercs just wasted a whole lot of time. Number 6, the Ice Trap. We've seen a lot of different noob-like players so far. The Panic Self-Destructing bot, the I don't know what I'm doing bot, and the I'll make your job easier by jumping off this waterfall bot. Surely there can't be any more. Well, that is where we're all wrong. They are a never-ending supply of entertainment and variety, and with that, I introduce to you the Crash Test Dummy Bot.
What is this? Does she have weapons? Like, I'm curious. She says no. Get up there, baby.
Do it. Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
No. Bye. You'll be.
Oh, she's coming back.
Oh no.
These types of endgame noobs players are probably my personal favorite. First of all, you got to get to the final 2 players. Then you got to set up whatever it is you're setting up without getting shot, and then miraculously get them to all fall for it. Not exactly a walk in the park. So when you've got someone who's willing to be put through whatever crazy stunt you have planned, I'd have to call you the silent heroes of all noobs. They give us way too much content, and many times people will have streamer mode on, so these heroes rarely get the credit that they deserve. A moment for a fallen brethren. Next! Number 7, the Pretender. The one problem you face with finding an opponent you think is a noob is wondering if they're just baiting you to drop your guard. I'll 100% admit I do this all the time to opponents, build really slow and noob-like so they come rushing in to mess with you unguarded and then use Cypher PK them with an instant trap base before they can save baited. As you can see with Fanatic Eric in this clip, he's got a default just standing there, yet is cautious with every move.
Boys, I don't know if I can win this, dude. This guy looks insane. He's gonna heavy shotgun me, I already know. He's baiting me. I can see it in his eyes. Oh. Not bad. What? He betrayed me, bro.
It's that last little turn around the bot makes and looks directly at Eric before making that counter blow that makes this clip all the more enjoyable. Imagine being AFK and then coming back to that. You look up and you see a turret in your face and still wreck the guy staring you down point blank with a whole arsenal. No matter how cautious Eric was, it definitely didn't help in the end. Number 8, sorry, friend. Now, who hasn't made the odd friend with an enemy before? I'm not talking about the full-on teaming, but just seeing someone and letting them live, perhaps doing a little emote or even no weapons staying together and seeing how far you can get with emotes alone. It's usually not that far. What we have here, though, is what you might call a classic case of karma. Everything in the beginning of that clip was fine. They're just being friendly and having a dance. But as soon as he starts to shoot someone while teaming, Destiny steps in and conveniently puts the player he's teaming with directly in front of the bullet. Now that is a textbook case of instant karma, if I ever saw one. And in number 9, we've got the edit puzzle. I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly a pro edit builder. I can crank a few 90s and get some smooth scrim tunnels going. But if I was the noob in this battle you're about to witness, or should I say cat and mouse game, I don't think I would have been able to react any differently.
Wait, 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 wait. Let me out of here, Daddy. Let me out of here.
Those fast edits are just stupidly impressive. I get that there are pros and that's what they have to train for, but they take it to levels you don't even realize exist until you're suddenly the victim in one of these clips. Number 10, Save the World Veteran. If you're not completely sure about the Save the World side of Fortnite, then it's essentially a fight the zombies type game, and is where all these Fortnitemares crystals and zombies originally came from. Thankfully, we don't have to see them too often, although it does make for some interesting situations.
To flex on us. He came all the way from Save the World to flex on us with his PvE skills, man. This is a Save the World veteran right here. Yeah, dude, we almost got it, bro. You and me together. Yeah, you and me together, bro. Hey! Yo, we did it. We really did it. Oh my God. Oh, he's gonna destroy me.
Even with Cypher PK shooting alongside him, the default still doesn't notice the audio, covered by his own fight with the zombies. That is until the final zombie goes down and the default almost nails him with the counter, but obviously Cypher's not having any of it, decides to follow a very wise and tradition-filled Fortnite quote. Just build, man. That's all you gotta do. But hey, you cannot click off this video just yet because you've got to check out this other video on screen. This video will change your life. You will go from being bored to not being bored. How crazy is that? I know. Well, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.